In this episode, we bring on our host Yoke and two special guests who were young graduates themselves at the time of the last economic crisis in 2008 and 9.
I was like, wow, lucky I left.
We can only offer you like $500. And I was like, okay, this is devastating.
We explore looking at things from a different time perspective and how that might give us a different look and reframe how we think about things and bring about some hope and optimism.
Hello everyone, I'm Yoke and I'm from Bold at Work. So join me today as we tune in to listen to the stories of Gracie and Limin, who both live to tell the tale.
So the crisis was around September 2008. So I remember talking to my colleagues who were still in the bank, and it was quite a disaster. So I was like, wow, lucky I left. And, at the same time, I was being offered a position. There was an open position at the International Programs Division in the YMCA, doing something that I really enjoyed. So the crisis, if I remember correctly, still lasted on to the year of 2009.
Yep.
And I remember that after taking a pay cut already, like you just look forward to your 2% increase or whatever lah, right? Just to comfort yourself. So on top of not getting it, having a pay cut, there is not even any increment. But I just told myself, okay, we didn't come for the money. So let's see what else happens. And then so I just continued in the job. And that was that was the first year of work.
So I met my current mentor and my then boss, the vice president of marketing at Raffles Hotels and Resorts, and she offered me an internship. So it was very humbling to take that internship. Just to give you an idea, like in Australia, as a full-time like front office staff, if you like clock in hours and stuff, you can earn something like 3 to 4K a month. I came back to Singapore, and then this was an internship, and they were like, oh, we can only offer you like $500. And I was like, okay, this is devastating. And I took the internship. And I mean, the main reason why I took that, it's very clear to me in my career trajectory that in the past, I chose to enter a company based on prestige, money, and sort of like well laid out opportunity. And that didn't make me very happy, right? So with this next decision, I was like, okay, I'm gonna choose to follow someone who might be a very good mentor and she'll teach me a lot. Yes, it will not pay me too much, but it will give me a lot of learning opportunity in whatever I have.
So actually from hearing both of your stories, if money were the only thing that mattered, then of course in a crisis, then you can only expect less, right? But I think it sounds like for both of you, there was something else other than money that became the measure of how you chose and how you wanted to determine what you wanted to work in. I think in a time of a crisis, what happens really is that I think our resources, options, and opportunities kind of shrink, right? Because everything is kind of contracted and everything shrinks. The fear really is that you'll be choosing between two bad options. Then you hear a lot of people say like, "Ayo, no choice lah," then bo pian, and then they're very unhappy about that, right? So I kind of want to ask you about this idea and notion about like, oh, no choice, was that how it was like in your experience? Was that true in your experience? Or how do you navigate that?
When the financial crisis hit, it was like waves of different people getting retrenched. So like maybe every 3 months, there were different people that would get retrenched. So there was no choice. I had to stay on at the job, but I was given a lot of different tasks that were not related to revenue management, because during a crisis and when you're recovering from a crisis, you need to wear many hats. So how my boss told me was, okay, how do I justify keeping you is you're also my personal assistant. So I also did a lot of administrative work for my VP. I did all her travel claims. I booked her meetings. I booked her travel. And then subsequently, when we were in a bit of a recovery, she then piled on other tasks for me to do. It worked for me because I think that it benefited me to have a very broad scale of knowledge on the hotel industry. And it definitely helped me have a lot more confidence when I'm speaking to different people as I was progressing in my career. When you get a no, you need to know why there is a no. So all along when I meet different people, even my boss that was mentoring me, her response to me was, no, it's not, no, Limin, you're not good at this. Like revenue management is not your thing. Her no was, no, there's no chance now. But in the meantime, you should build yourself up and find that opportunity later.
Time of crisis, my mindset is, oh wow, it's a reset. Even if I didn't want to change job, I might have to change job. So how? Okay, better reskill, find something else you can do, reapply yourself into other parts of this organization where you can still contribute and still be of meaning.
Okay, so one of the things that I think I shared with you before that a lot of people were saying like, oh, I graduated in my crisis year. If I didn't graduate in a crisis year, I would be earning this much amount or I'll be doing this. And that in a way is quite Singaporean to compare like that, you know? It's a very like, you expect things to move a certain way. Whereas I think life is not so planned out. It's not you do A and then B and then C. Sometimes it can go from A to Z and then you go back and then you do D. And I think that's how life is, and that's how you accumulate experiences to make you a more full person.
The other thing I wanted to say that I got from your stories is really the time perspective. So I think sometimes in a crisis, right, then people think like, wow, I have to survive, then I cannot do the things that I like. So it becomes very binary, it's like 100-0, right? But I think both of you, with the time perspective, you're talking about how it flows. So in a crisis, yes, maybe you have to do the things that you don't really love to do, not your first love, not your best love, right? And you just need to do that to survive. But even within that, you can still actually be paving the way for the opportunities for what you really want to set yourself up for in the future.
My younger analysts in Marina Bay Sands, they always feel like, you know, I work here for like 4 or 5 years, I don't get promoted. Why? And I'm like, you need to ask yourself in 10 years time, right? What do you want to show for your resume, and how are you going to be different from the next person in 10 years time? Because I think the money in 10 years time is more important than the money that you're earning now.
You were sharing with me about the advice that you have for your juniors graduating this year.
I mean, I'm a very practical person. So when I mentor a few fresh graduates that just that came from my hotel school. So they've all, I think most of them have lost their jobs in Australia, because Australia was hit with bushfires and then COVID-19. So it's really tough for them. And I was just asking them a simple question. Do you need money to survive? And they were like, yes. I said, okay, then you know where's hiring? Supermarkets are hiring. Because people are looting toilet rolls in supermarkets, and you know, they need people. And hospitality is, you know, your skills in hospitality in front office and all that are also applicable at a supermarket. And I think my advice was also that, you know, I think people think like, oh, if I deviate from my career, my proper career path during a crisis year, does it set me back? I don't think people are so ununderstanding. I think this crisis is throughout the world.
Everyone
knows
for
there's
everyone.
crisis. And I think people will appreciate that you did what you had to do to survive.
Yeah. I think they are going to judge you. They are going to judge you to say, because the crisis is for everyone. And so when I'm going to compare two people, I will ask, what were you doing for the last 1 year? Say, and then versus another person, what were you doing for the last 1 year? And I think if that resume had said, oh, supermarketing, retail, don't know what, right? Compared to I did nothing, or I was just trying to apply for more jobs, and that is a big difference.
Okay, I just have one word in case
one word. Okay.
And it's just yes, yes, yes. So whatever people give you, just say yes. You know, don't say no. Don't be a no person in a crisis. Be a yes person. It's like, oh, they're like, ask you clean toilet, yes. Wash dishes, yes. You know, do contact tracing, yes. I mean, amongst the many yeses that you say, eventually it will contribute to something.
Firstly, I guess would be thankfulness, because or rather gratitude. Two would be adaptability. Yeah, being relational. Yeah, so keep talking to people, keep exploring your own connections, and build new ones. Yeah.
Thank you very much to Gracie and Limin for joining us in this video today. It is really only through someone's stories and experiences that these values and attitudes become more than just concepts, but they become lived experiences that we can relate to and identify with. So a lot of these traits that they've talked about, for example, being future-focused and adaptable, these are traits that we have actually compiled into something that we call the Future Ready Index, and it comes with a set of self-assessments so you can see how much you're living up these future-ready attributes in your own life today.